Greetings and welcome to the Bowling Green First United Methodist Church. We hope that you enjoy what you're about to see, and you can find us on the corner of Broadway and Church Streets at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings. Or you can find us at bgmethodist.org and on Facebook at Bowling Green First United Methodist Church. So this morning we're going to do, you heard him a little bit. That was, if you weren't watching the video during the prayer, or if you were, you probably figured out it's kind of an old cowboy who was talking on there this morning, leading us in prayer. And his name is Ken Rollins, and he's kind of a throwback to another time. His primary vocation is he's a cook on cattle drives. So I thought this morning, looking at this, I thought, well, one, I'll make you all hungry right before lunch, because he cooks. So I thought, well, I'll do that, and then we'll talk a little bit about what he's doing. And so I thought I'd play a little bit of a video, kind of tell him where he tells a little bit about what it's like being a cook on kind of a modern day cattle drive. So,
morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for y'all when you're watching this. It's morning now, and it's about 5. You know, we're going to talk about the wagon, the breakfast at the wagon, how it's different, how it's changed. Hey, I love breakfast any time of day, but I guarantee you back in old cookies day going down the trail, it's a whole lot different than what we're having today. So, y'all stick around, stay tuned. I was going down the trail when old Cookie was doing this job back in the 1880s. They didn't eat near as good, I promise you. Coffee, bacon, sometimes beans, but mostly coffee, beans, and biscuits. Now, if old Cookie had a little salt pork, they might give them that every once in a while, but them boys didn't have their belly full here like they do today when I send them out. We've got a lot better grocery stores than old Cookie had. Mornings come early, especially when you're an old ranch cook, and a lot of times in the spring when it's getting light at 6, well, I've been on ranches that we eat breakfast at 4:30. So that's getting up to 2:45, 3 o'clock. So it's a tradition that keeps alive. Same as old Cookie had going back down the trails. Sure, them cowboys ain't getting up quite that early, but they'll go reporting in about 30 minutes before time to eat breakfast, and everybody will get to visit and have something. But my chores and old Cookies going down the trail haven't changed really all that much. I still have the same responsibilities and the same duty. You know, typically now we feed them guys bacon, eggs, gravy, biscuits, sometimes sausage, scrambled egg or fried egg, cider pancakes, or breakfast casserole. They eat well, I promise. So, we're talking about the difference old Cookie had and what I have today in the way that we have food. But the methods are still the same. Sure, old Cookie, he didn't have no firebox like that company we call him Merlin. He cooked in cast iron just like we do. He baked his bread every morning or whenever he did it. He fried in the cast iron skillet. He still got 3 jobs. Feed them, feed them, and feed them. He sent them out every day ready to get them to go to cow battle. And we do the same. So it's still a lot of the same things. Sure, we have the same mode of transportation. If we're on a ranch and we hook it up to a team and drive it. But we're not going 15 miles every day. We're not going up the trail. We're just working in different ranches and different pastures, and we've gotten a whole lot easier than old Cookie had. And I tip my hat, I do, to them old cooks that came before me. Well, after breakfast, them cowboys, they have learned well. Dishes go in a wreck pan, and by that I mean an old wash tub. There's one got soapy water, and there's one got rinse water. And as them boys leave, they have a job, they have a function that they're doing, and that's gather cattle. Me and Shannon have armed them very well, got a full belly. And you know, they're going to be back at noontime, and they're going to have an appetite. An old cowboy burns a lot of calories, I promise you. So we'll go to starting something for lunch, all pretty close to 10:30, maybe a little before that if we're making a dessert, brownies, pies, cakes, something like that. So we'll fill them up when they come in at noon, just like we did at breakfast. Drove many a wagon and a team across many a desolate old place, and some of it the most beautiful country I've ever seen in my life. Just like old Cookie did when he went down the trail. I have a job, that's what I do. But it's not only a job, it's something that I love. It's something that I get to relive a part of history and pass on. We hope you enjoy watching these videos and get a little glimpse into old Cookie's life.
So, anyone else hungry? I about lost Emily after Oak Grove this morning. She got a better offer for biscuits and gravy after church today. She nearly took them up on it. So, but I love watching these videos. I think the first one of his I watched, I can't tell you how I ended up watching it, was he was telling you how you make cowboy coffee. And I got kind of fascinated with that and started going, kind of clicking through some more of those videos. And you'll see him, he'll be there cooking, he'll be cooking on an open fire, on a bed of hot coals, or that great big stove that he had sitting out, a big cast iron 300-pound stove that he carries with him. He calls it Bertha. That's what he cooks in most of the time. And he cooks in cast iron and in Dutch ovens and does all those things. And you can watch him on YouTube, or he's got a Silver City in Branson quite often doing demonstrations of how they do things. And but what he's doing, what I love about what he does, is that he does something very important. He is we call him a throwback nowadays, throwback to a time that has seemingly long since passed, because really, who goes on cattle drives nowadays? But there's still a few folks out there out on the great big ranches that's still part of what they do. And but what he does, he takes those lessons from those times that are long past. And he doesn't try and help. He doesn't want us to recreate those times, but he takes those lessons, takes what they learned back then, and he passes it on to the next generation. Not to recreate things, but just to kind of make sure that we have that wisdom, so that we can maybe navigate through some things that we face today. And we see that happen. We see a lot of folks that do that, whether we're talking about a guy up here, or we're talking about other folks in our lives, or even this morning, if we're looking at our scripture reading, if we're looking at Moses. If there is a throwback in the Old Testament, it's Moses. Moses, who was coming up on the end of his time, where he knew that the end of one period of Israel's history was closing out and something new was beginning, and he was looking at all these folks that he had led for over 40 years, and looking at them and saying, there's a few more lessons that I have left to teach you. And he's kind of making him ready to do that. And so he looks at, he tells him this, at that verse, there in verses 1 and 2, he says to him, I'm 120 years old. I can't move around well anymore. Plus the Lord told me, you won't cross the Jordan River. In 2 verses, in just a short little statement, Moses brings back a whole bunch of their history and their past, kind of, getting them ready for what it is that he's going to say next. Reminding them of where they have been, but now also that they're getting ready to go on. And then he goes on and he tells them this, in the first part of verse 3, he says, but the Lord your God, he's the one who will cross over before you. This is one of those really important lessons that Moses is trying to pass on to his people, because this is not a lesson that they learn very well. This is a lesson that has to be repeated over and over and over to them, but he's giving it to them another time, helping them to remember and to know that God goes before them in all things. And then then Moses makes sure they know that they've got a leader. They've got someone who's going to take up after Moses. Because Joshua is there ready to take over now. There are a lot of times we think we're first introduced to Joshua when he was just a young guy at the very beginning of this story in the book of Exodus. And sometimes we can make the mistake of still thinking that he's a young guy by the time we get to the end of Deuteronomy. But there are 40 years that have passed in the middle of that. Joshua's not a young guy anymore. He is a well-seasoned leader, and he is ready to take the reins from Moses and lead the people of Israel over the Jordan River, and ready to lead them into that promised land. Now, as we read this passage, there's some parts of that, though, that we got to deal with that cause us, especially in modern times, a little bit of trouble. Because it sounds like, in fact it is, that God is telling Moses to tell the people, saying, take them over and you're going to defeat all of these other people who already live there in war. Sounds like God is telling them to go to war. Now you hear a lot of folks, especially a lot of preachery types, we can get ourselves all worked up into knots, trying to explain why God would ever do such a thing. This doesn't square with the God that we know. And the trouble is that we shouldn't try and get ourselves worked up into knots over it. That part of that is we've got to remember that that was a different time and a different place, that the promised land, that Israel back a few thousand years ago, is very different from Bowling Green, Missouri of today. Kind of like Bowling Green's a little bit different from Louisiana, although depending on who you talk to, they might say it's a lot bit different than Louisiana. A little bit different from Eola or Clarksville or Painesville or Frankfurt or any of the other places around here, or as I was reminded yesterday, Pike County is a whole lot different than Wentzville. I was reminded again that I am not a suburban guy. That is not a place I know. I like this pace of life back up here a whole lot better than down there. And there are different places. We live things out differently through all of those things. And so we shouldn't try to explain those away and make all those things fit. We got to remember, what are the essential lessons? What are the important things that are trying to be put through on this? Because for Moses, the important things are not that you're going to go in and you're going to take over this, that you're going to defeat all of these people in war. The important things are something different. We get to verse 6 and it says this. He says, "Be strong, be fearless, don't be afraid, and don't be scared by your enemies, because the Lord your God is the one who marches with you. He won't let you down, and he won't abandon you." Moses is pointing out, remember what the important things are in this. Remember who your God is in the midst of all of this. So what is it that we look at as we take this passage of Scripture? What are the things we take out of this? The first one of those is that things change and we can't stop that. Moses is very clear in the first two verses of pointing that out, saying, I'm 120 years old, by golly. And if Moses were even more plain-spoken than he is, even in that verse, he would have said, I'm 120 years old and I'm almost dead. That's kind of what he was telling folks. Saying, I'm not going to go with you across that river. Things change. That's a part of how this world works. And then, but he's explaining all this because he's trying to say, and it's okay to be uncomfortable with that. If you are uncomfortable with the way things are changing, that's okay, because it's different. It's a change. It's not going to be the same from one time to the next, but God doesn't leave us alone. There's one of the things that he is working to point out, to tell the people of Israel, God doesn't leave us alone. He says, the Lord goes before you into that place. And we already know that God doesn't abandon his people, that God goes before us and stays here with us. And that's what is going on. That's one of the messages that Moses is trying to get across. And the last one of these is that the essentials stay the same. We may just live them out a little bit differently. The essential things, the most important things, stay the same. And Moses is telling us that the most important, essential of all this is God goes ahead of you, and he doesn't leave you, so have faith. Have faith and trust in the Lord for what it is that is coming next. We may all live them out a little bit different. That's because we're all very different people, very different places. This is the third time I've done this sermon this morning in 3 different places, and I know, and many of you all know, that each of the 3 churches on the parish are all different churches, and that's just in the 39-mile round-trip loop that I make on Sunday mornings. But that's okay. The context may be different, but the essentials, those stay the same. On this Father's Day, we recognize our fathers. We also recognize those other men in our lives who have acted like fathers to us. And I think I said it even on Mother's Day, that it's not even just about the men or the fathers or the mothers or the women, but it's about all those adults who have been important people in our lives. The ones who have acted as mentors and guides, as parents. And they are the folks who have shaped us and made us to be the people that we are today. If we look, we may even look and say, well, some of those folks in our lives, they're a little bit older, they're kind of a throwback, but maybe they've got a little bit to teach us. Whether it's a guy making country fried steak, and it's going to be really hard to go home and have a salad for lunch after doing this 3 times today. Whether it's him or whether it's a guy who in this picture is only 80 years old and is kind of setting things straight and kind of setting us on that next path. Well, maybe it's even a familiar face for those of us in the state of Missouri, but taking on a new role. That's our new Bishop, Bob Farr, who used to be Pastor Bob Farr in the Missouri Conference, and now is our bishop and taking on a new role. We've all got folks that have helped shape us and make us who we are. If you were to put pictures of people in your life, I'm pretty sure they would probably look a little bit different than the ones that are up there. But you could fill that whole screen with individuals that have helped make you and form you and shape you into the person that you are today. And all those folks, those most important folks in our lives, what they remind us is that, things are going to change. They aren't going to be the same now as they were back then. And it's okay to be uncomfortable with that, but God doesn't leave us alone. Now, the important part of that, when we say that God doesn't leave us alone, that they're the ones telling us that, tells us that already. Because they are there, they're active in our lives, they are important to us, they are shaping us and helping us through those hard places, even through those good places. That means we know already that God doesn't leave us alone, because look at who He's put in our lives to watch over us and to help us out as we go through there. And we know that we hold on to the most essential of things. We may live those things out differently as we go from place to place and place. But the essential things are that God doesn't leave us alone, and then to have faith and trust in Him because of it. Those are the essential things for us to hold on to. Now, when we get back in a couple weeks, we're going to talk a little bit more then about what does it look like, though, when you come up to the edge of that place and you're looking out at one of those really difficult places in life where it looks hard, you know it's hard, but you know you got to go through it to get to the other side. What does it look like to go through those hard times when you're standing up on the edge and you know that you've got to go down into that deep valley before you can come out on the other side? What does it look like to take these essential things and make it through to the other side? But that's not coming up for a couple of weeks still. In the meantime, though, go and find some time in the next couple of weeks to sit down to a good home-cooked meal with maybe some of the folks that you would put up on that screen. And just sit down, enjoy their presence, maybe learn a little bit more. Whether you make that meal or someone else makes it for you, just take that time to sit down and visit and talk, and through that, grow that much closer to God as He draws us closer to Him. And through all of that also, may Christ go with you, guide you, and lead you and strengthen you, and in turn may you share Him with others that need that strength, guidance, and strength. And let us do this all in Christ's name. Amen.